The final review talks about Destiny, and I bet you're guessing how I feel about the game. Well, this sums it up.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I could say that Destiny is a pretty good game. It's not a game that I would pre-order, but it would be after a few days since it released, I would get it. But it will only to help me pass the time until I acquire another game that I want. Now, I played the beta on Xbox 360, and I can say it looks great despite how people say the last gen graphics looked. But I didn't have any trouble with the visuals. Now, the story of Destiny is pretty cut and dry from what I've seen so far. In the beta, you're a hero that's been brought back to life by a ghost to help propel back the darkness that will soon fall upon your world. Now, from what I've seen so far, the characters don't have the feelings once I'm done with the game and go to talk about it with my friends. I really wouldn't remember any of their names because they feel so bland and not really interesting. Like when you go to speak with the speaker about the darkness, you do it after the second mission in the game. You would figure you would see this guy running the whole entire operation after the first mission in the game. But you meet him after the second one. So he gives you the rundown saying that they're screwed if you, the hero, don't find a way to propel back the darkness. Honestly, from what I've seen so far with the beta, it's pretty much a short to grindhouse game. You go to one set area, you kill a bunch of enemies, you gain a bunch of XP, you acquire a level up, rinse and repeat. It's pretty, straight and forward. It doesn't really change the formula any type of way. And overall, the game had a PC feel like to it, right down to when it came to accessing the inventory menus to selecting where you wanted to go on the map. It just felt like more of a WoW type Borderlands type game. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't say it's really a bad thing that developers try to make PC games into console games, but it can really turn quite messy because as we've seen every about 5 years or so, when these when Sony and Microsoft release these consoles, they make them underpowered. So it's like certain games, like when you look at PlanetSide, League of Legends or Smite, just for an example, they run a lot better on the PC because the PC has to optimize hardware which can run those games to the fullest of their ability, while a console is still, according to Microsoft and the rest of them, haven't been fully pushed to its limit, and they're still trying to learn how to unlock the secrets of trying to push it towards it. And this opens up the big controversy with PC and fanboys and them getting into that whole spill of a war of PC enthusiasts saying PC is a lot better than consoles. You guys need to learn to live with that and switch to our side. And console fanboys still trying to say that there's a good reason why Microsoft and Sony hasn't fully pushed consoles to the PC limit yet. But overall, I would say Destiny's alright. I played the multiplayer for a bit, and honestly, I did not like the multiplayer. The multiplayer just felt so fucking unbalanced. It just didn't feel right. Now, I have played my share of first-person shooters. I have. Throughout all these years, I played first-person and third-person shooters. And when I played Destiny, it just felt so out of whack. It's like people have the ability to use their special abilities in the multiplayer, which throws the formula off a lot more because now anybody can just sit up and throw their special right at you and totally obliterate you. The vehicles didn't feel right. It felt like anybody with the vehicles, especially on the domination map, could just sit up and drive into the set structure where the flag was and camp it out with that set vehicle and blow you to hell. And it just overall, I would say the mechanics in Destiny, it didn't need a multiplayer. Honestly, it couldn't have survived off of the story campaign co-op that it was going off of ever since it was been announced back in E3 a couple of years ago. Honestly, to tell you the truth, Bungie, since you're planning on making a part 2 to this franchise, because Activision, they have to make a part 2 of every damn thing and make money off of it, don't include multiplayer in it. It's just going to be something that's not going to be played, and people are going to really invest more of their time into the single player co-op aspect of the traditional Borderlands games. You go to a certain set place, you get loot, you get guns, you rinse and repeat, and you just get better equipment for your characters until you you hit the level cap. And from what I've seen so far in the game, when I looked at a couple of the vendors in the game, especially the speaker, because you can go see him in his tower on the far left hand side of the map, the cap for most of the equipment and weapons at 20. So for what makes me believe is that Destiny is going to be capped at level 20 for standard launch games, which then also makes me believe there will be DLC content that will expand the cap. So best believe that's going to be coming soon. Now, from overall, I'm not going to say Destiny is a bad game. It's not a mind-blowing game that the hype has been, putting up for these past, year or so. But it's a game that if you are waiting for something else to come out that following year, I suggest to pick it up because it can help you pass the time because it's a grinder game. That's what grinders do. They help, basically take time off or whatever you want to, play next. And that's what I would really suggest it. Like I said before at the beginning of the video, I wouldn't pre-order Destiny. I would just wait probably 2-3 weeks or maybe even a month before picking it up, for the price to go down to pick it up. It's not a day one pickup in my case. It's just an overhyped game that's not going to really please a lot of people, and a lot of feelings are going to be hurt. But hey, it is what it is. That's what happens when you work with a company like Activision. But that's how I feel about the game. If you play the Destiny beta, let me know how you feel about it in the comments below. Peace.